Thank you for joining us today. I am Charlotte Becker, the Digital Marketing and Events Manager here at the German National Tourist Office. We're thrilled to have you here for an exciting and informative session focused on the beautiful destination of Garmisch-Partenkirchen in Germany. With me today is Katharina Duchmann, a knowledgeable spokesperson with extensive experience in promoting travel destinations and connecting visitors with authentic experiences. As the Marketing and Sales Manager of the Garmisch-Partenkirchen Tourist Board, Katharina has a deep understanding of the unique attractions and offerings of Garmisch-Partenkirchen and is here to share valuable insights and tips on how tour operators like you can make the most out of this incredible region. Welcome, Katharina. How are you doing today? Has the weather been treating you well in Garmisch-Partenkirchen?
Thank you, Charlotte. I'm very happy to be here with you and everyone else here today. The weather has been treating us quite well in Garmisch-Partenkirchen lately. The sun is shining, it's a beautiful autumn day, perfect to enjoy a little hike in the beautiful nature surroundings here.
That sounds wonderful. It is great to have you with us today. Over the course of this webinar, Katharina will guide us through Garmisch-Partenkirchen's most captivating highlights, from its breathtaking landscapes and historical sites to the outdoor activities and cultural experiences that make it a must-visit destination year-round. Please feel free to leave your questions in the chat, and our team will answer them throughout the session here in the chat or as a follow-up via email. Without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Katharina. Thank you for leading today's session and for sharing your expertise with us.
Thank you very much, Charlotte, and welcome from my side as well again. My name is Katharina, and I work for the Destination Management Organization of Garmisch-Partenkirchen. You can find my contact details here on the slide, and I also linked you our sales guide, where you can find more information on our website as well. A short overview of what we are going to talk about today. Where is Garmisch-Partenkirchen located and how to get there, of course, first of all. I will give you some insights about the town's history, as well as outdoor and sports activities during the summer as well and the winter time. I will then talk about the top sightseeing highlights and our seasonal event highlights of the destination, followed by our top 5 day excursions. I will talk about some accommodation types here where your guests can stay. And after that, we will have some time to answer your questions in the chat again. So let's get right into it. For those of you that are not familiar with Garmisch-Partenkirchen, it is centrally located in the south of Germany, in a very great mountain scenery at the foot of Germany's highest peak, the Zugspitze. It can be easily reached by plane via Munich or Innsbruck in Austria as well. The airport in Munich is only about a 1.5 hour drive away, and to Innsbruck in Austria, it's only a 1 hour drive. Of course, it's also accessible by train, and there are various bus routes and an excellent road network, so it can be connected easily with Tyrol in Austria and the Eastern Alps as well. So a very good starting point for different destinations in Germany and in the Alps. Let's talk about a little bit about the town of Garmisch-Partenkirchen. It's not only a unique place for extraordinary outdoor activities, but also a region that has shaped the culture and the Bavarian traditions. So once before 1935, there were 2 parts, Garmisch and Partenkirchen. And for the Olympic Winter Games, which were held here in 1936, they were forced to unite. But, as you can imagine, there's still some rivalry between the 2 parts. We still have 2 skiing clubs, 2 traditional custom clubs, and there's also 2 beer festivals in the summer. So we are not too mad about that. The part of Garmisch has a very lively pedestrian zone, and it's a great mixture between modern and traditional. You can find decorative houses there. There are a lot of cozy cafes, different kind of shops, from very known fashion labels to luxury boutiques, but also traditional stores. In comparison to that, the historical center of Partenkirchen is a little bit more historical because the Ludwig Street was a former market street which served the Romans as an important trade route between Augsburg and Venice in Italy. And as you can see it here in the picture, you will find mostly small stores and a lot of historic paintings, the so-called Lüftel paintings, which are from a time when the houses told the stories of the inhabitants. And it was shown in the pictures what the people in the houses did for a living, for example. In summer as well as in winter, we offer multiple outdoor activities and very extraordinary experiences for our visitors. And even if the weather is not the best on each day, there is a lot of culture to experience. We offer a lot of museums, churches, castles to visit. There are wellness areas, shopping, and a lot of culinary delights, which are really worth visiting as well. But as the winter time is just around the corner, let's have a little look at our winter activities first. Garmisch-Partenkirchen has two ski areas, one at the top of the Zugspitze, which is also Germany's highest skiing resort, and the other one is Garmisch Classic, accessible from the town of Garmisch, with over 60 kilometers of slopes, as well for beginners and families, but also for advanced skiers. You have the opportunity to go cross-country skiing, both classic and skating, if we have enough snow in the valley. And of course, hiking is very popular during the winter months as well. There are over 100 kilometers of snow-cleared hiking paths available. At our Olympic Ice Sports Center, there's the possibility to go ice skating and play ice hockey. And of course, sledging is also possible at various places, and it can be easily combined with a short hike, a cozy lunch at a mountain hut, and then take the easy way down to the valley. And of course, many accommodations offer wellness areas to relax as well after an exciting day in the snow. But once winter is gone, let's move on and have a quick look at our summer activities. So hiking is definitely one of the most popular summer activities in Garmisch-Partenkirchen, with over 300 kilometers of hiking paths. There are also guided tours available. And if you are a more advanced hiker, there's also mountaineering and climbing options for all levels, very popular in our destination. As well as cycling and mountain biking. We offer over 450 kilometers of different trails, also levels for beginners and advanced as well. But if you're not too much into sports, you do not necessarily have to climb the mountains. There are also 8 different cable cars and 1 cogwheel train available that will get you up to the mountain as well. The options of paragliding and horse carriage rides are also an amazing way to experience our destination from a different perspective, from above, or through the eyes of a horse. And of course, in the summer, water sports like stand-up paddling and kayaking are also very popular here. So as you can see, Garmisch-Partenkirchen has a lot to offer. Lots of nature, lots of culture, but I would like to show you some of the most famous sightseeing highlights in our destination as well. And one of them, of course, is definitely the Partnach Gorge. It's a unique natural phenomenon which was declared a natural landmark as well in 1912. And the Partnach Gorge gained great economic importance when the deforestation for burning and construction wood was allowed, and the trunks that had to be transported into the valley through the gorge because there was no other way to get them down. So today the Partnach Gorge belongs to the most impressive gorges of the Bavarian Alps. It has a lot of wild waterfalls, rapids, and a very mystical atmosphere as well in summer as in winter, and it fascinates over 200,000 visitors a year. Not far from the gorge is the location of the Olympic ski jump, where the Olympic Winter Games in 1936 were held. We already talked about that. So the ski jump on the Goodieberg is still the location of the famous New Year's jumping, the so-called Neujahrsspringen, as part of the Four Hills tournament every year. So you can take a guided tour through the tower of the ski jump, for example. There's also a zip line going down, and right next to it there's also a summer bob. Moving on to the Zugspitze, which is with 2,962 meters, the highest mountain of Germany, and probably one of the biggest highlights of our region. You can, for example, take a round trip to get to the top. There's the possibility to use a cable car from the famous Lake Eibsee, which only takes 10 minutes to bring you up to the top. And then if you want to experience something new, you can take the cogwheel train down, which goes through a tunnel in the mountains back to the Lake Eibsee again. But if you're very active and want to experience a special hike, it's also possible to hike up to the Zugspitze in 1 or 2 days. And at the summit, no matter how you got there, you can enjoy a unique 360-degree panoramic view. And if the weather is nice and you're lucky, you have views of over 400 peaks in 4 different countries of Germany, Austria, Italy, and Switzerland. And as I already mentioned, you have the possibility to go skiing up there at one of Germany's highest ski resorts. Take a glacier excursion, and Germany's highest chapel and restaurants are also located here. The Alpspitze is another scenic viewing platform on top of the Osterfelder Kopf, and it's only a few steps away from the mountain station of the Alpspitze cable car. So if you're not keen to go up as high as the Zugspitze, this would be a great alternative. The Alpspitze platform, you can see it here in the picture, is like an X-shaped 25-meter long steel construction, and it stands out over a vertical drop of 1,000 meters over the mountains. And there's a glass wall just between you and the panoramic views. And good to know is also that a visit to the Alpspitze can be easily combined with a leisurely hike. So there's a very family-friendly summit adventure trail to the Osterfelder Kopf. And then you can, for example, walk down to the Kreuzeck cable car and take a nice round trip to go back down to the valley again. And then we have Wamberg, which is one of the highest church villages in Germany, and only 30 people live there. And it's located about 1,000 meters above sea level. And if you get there, it's like time seems to have stopped. You can find very traditional, rustic architecture and nature everywhere you look around. The view of the Wetterstein mountain range with the Alpspitze and the Zugspitze is really just breathtaking, especially at great autumn days like now when you have the colorful trees and then the nice mountain panoramic view behind you. And a tip for winter, in the colder months, you can look forward to hiking up the Eckbauer mountain and then sledging down via Wamberg back to the Olympic ski jump stadium. Here's a short overview of our seasonal highlight and events that we have in Garmisch-Partenkirchen. We already talked about the famous Neujahrs-Skispringen, the New Year's ski jump. And then in January as well, we are the hosts of the Bavarian competition of the traditional horn sled championship. This is where daredevil women and men have been meeting for over 40 years. They build teams of 4 people, and then on the horn sleds, they go downhill with over 100 kilometers per hour. So it's a very spectacular event to watch. Then we have different trail running events taking place from April until June. And in June, we also celebrate the Richard Strauss Festival Days, because the famous composer lived and worked here in Garmisch-Partenkirchen for over 40 years. So I had a lot of classical concerts going on and a lot of classical music in town. We have the 2 traditional beer festivals taking place in August, one in Garmisch and one in Partenkirchen. And in November, we have our culinary weeks. I will talk about them in a second, as well as Winter at the Park. And of course, in December, we also have Christmas markets here in town. So let's talk about our culinary weeks. They are called Garpa Schmeckt's, which means Garpa Tastes. And they take place every year in November. This year it is from November 24 till December 15. We have 6 experimental and creative chefs who are not only united by their love of cooking, but also by their many regional suppliers and regional products they use to create their menus. And especially for Garpa Schmeckt's, each chef will create an exclusive Garpa Schmeckt's menu for these 3 weeks with its own individual signature and using regional products. One of the highlights is definitely the walk-around dinner. So each course of the evening will be enjoyed in a different restaurant. And along the way, you will be accompanied by a local guide and learn more about the history of Garmisch-Partenkirchen. We also had a special edition of the Garpa Schmeckt's, which is called the Garpa Schmeckt's Gondola. It took place for the first time in September this year, and it was such a great success and a special experience that we decided to repeat the event next year. So 5 top chefs of the Garpa Culinary Weeks, they served a 5-course menu in the cozy gondolas of the Eckbauer cable car. And I would like to show you some impressions over here. So after the reception at the cable car valley station, the first course was served up on the way to the mountain, and guests also received a small basket with drinks in the gondola. And then the main course was served during sunset at the Eckbauer mountain station, with beautiful panoramic views. So the good news is that the event was such a success that it will take place in September next year again. Winter at the Park is another upcoming and fascinating event because for many, Christmas is the best time of the year, and with Winter at the Park, we wanted to extend this beautiful time and combine it with fascinating light installations at our Kurpark here in Garmisch-Partenkirchen. We also have food trucks that serve regional treats and mulled wine for sure. And of course, the wonderful feeling of giving the most beautiful time of the year a little more time. And the good thing is it's definitely an event for everyone, for guests, locals, young and old. And because of the opening hours, it's perfect to visit after an exciting day at the slopes. Let's have a look at some impressions. So let's move on to our top day excursions. I already mentioned at the beginning that Garmisch-Partenkirchen is located very centrally and a good starting point for interesting day excursions as well. Some of the most famous ones are definitely the Castle of Neuschwanstein in Schwangau, which is only a 1-hour drive away from Garmisch-Partenkirchen. Neuschwanstein Castle is the impressive castle that was created by King Ludwig II. It's his most famous creation and located right at the old border divide between Bavaria, Tyrol, and Swabia. And the Neuschwanstein Castle was commenced in 1869, but never completed during King Ludwig's lifetime. It's very famous for its fairy tale design and a beautiful landscape around it. And as I said, only a 1-hour drive away from Garmisch-Partenkirchen. Next would be the Linderhof Palace and Oberammergau. So the Linderhof Palace was also created by King Ludwig II, and it was the only building that he was able to complete during his lifetime. And the Linderhof Palace has beautiful surrounding parks as well, and is one of the most artistic and stylistically complex ensembles of the 19th century. Not far away from the Linderhof Palace is Oberammergau, the center of the art of wood carving and the location of the famous Passion Plays, which take place every 10 years. And both locations are only a 30-minute drive away from Garmisch-Partenkirchen as well. Not far from there as well is the Ettal Abbey, which is a Benedictine monastery in the village of Ettal, only a 20-minute drive away from Garmisch-Partenkirchen. It was founded in 1330, and it's now a very popular tourist attraction, which includes a farm, a hotel, an art publishing house, a distillery, and a brewery. So really worth a visit as well. And last but not least, we have the rural town of Mittenwald. Is very beautiful to visit. It has preserved houses, artistic mural paintings, a historic silversmith, and of course, a breathtaking panoramic view of the mountains of the Karwendel as well. It's only 20 minutes away from Garmisch-Partenkirchen as well, and also a good starting point for great hikes and mountain tours. It's located right at the border to Austria as well. And the Klotz family of violin makers, they lived here in the 17th century and made this medieval market town renowned for the craft of the violins. And today there's still an institution and a museum located in Mittenwald, and they are dedicated to continue the practice of this tradition. So very interesting to visit as well. Yeah, let's talk about some accommodation types we offer here in Garmisch-Partenkirchen. Arriving and feeling at home is one of the top priorities here for our hosts in Garmisch-Partenkirchen. They are very known for their warm hospitality and a friendly way of life. And you get the options to stay in a 4-star hotel. We have boutique hotels. There are cozy apartments or vacation homes for the whole family. So Garmisch-Partenkirchen really offers a variety of accommodation types for every taste. And you will find more information in the QR code here on our website as well for accommodation. So that was my part of the presentation. I hope you got a good insight in Garmisch-Partenkirchen and what the destination has to offer. If you have any open questions, please let us know in the chat and we will be happy to answer them. And I would like to thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to welcome you and your guests soon in Garmisch-Partenkirchen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Katharina, and thank you all for joining us today and for your interest in Garmisch-Partenkirchen. We hope you found valuable insights to help showcase this unique destination to your clients. If you have further questions or need additional resources, please feel free to reach out. In case we have not covered the question, we will get back to you after this session. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing how you bring the magic of Garmisch-Partenkirchen to life for your travelers. Goodbye.
Woo!